emphasize enforcing taunting penalties this year, a move that competition committee member and Giants owner John Mara is in agreement with. Mara told reporters, quote, "We get kind of sick and tired of the taunting that goes on from time to time. We tried to balance the sportsmanship with allowing the players to have fun." Shannon, what's your reaction to this?
Kim, who is we?
Good question.
I'm just trying to figure out where was this uprising? Well, I went back online and I went back over the last years looking at my timeline, and I'm trying to find things where fans were like, there's too much taunting going on in the NFL. The NFL needs to do something about it. This is John Mara and other guys like John Mara saying, look, we're going to put, because we know who's doing the celebrating. Let's not pretend we don't know who's celebrating, Skip. So,
well, Tom Brady celebrates occasionally, right?
So we know what this is about. Okay, Skip, we get it. Maybe we saw a little bit in, when Winfield Jr. did the peace side and Tyreek.
I loved it, but that's okay.
But what they called it in the preseason, Benny LeMay, the little running back, he's an undrafted free agent, Skip.
Yep.
He moved the pile like 10 yards. He gets up and he's hyped. Yes! They throw a flag. Skip, that's not taunting.
Not taunting. Agreed.
So, I want to know, so when the guy gets to intercept, when they get the turnover, Skip, and everybody run to the end zone, is that taunting?
No. Celebrating.
Yeah, so because if I get a first down, Skip, and run the clock out, and I'm like, yes, yes, is that taunting? Because they'll lead it subjective. It's up to the official.
Showing emotion. I agree. I'll say it. John Mara is speaking mostly for older white people.
Of course.
That's just what he's doing. Period. End of story. And maybe, to his point, he's lost some of those customers because he's...
Man, ain't nobody here.
Okay, well, maybe if
But what I'm seeing, everybody's like, let them have fun.
Okay, look, I know what he's talking about because I grew up being taught that mindset. It's sportsmanship. It's honor thy opponent, right? It's hand the ball to the official when you score. There's no chest beating. There's no bat flipping. And there's no entertainment in the sports that we were playing because nobody really cared about watching us. And I dare John Mara to poll kids today of all colors.
Yes.
Do you like what you're seeing? Yes, they love what they are seeing. And they don't want it to go away. And they don't want it just officiated out of the game slowly but surely with these penalties that are going to be on the edge because they're too hard. They're too subjective to call. And there were only, what, 10? No, maybe it's 15 taunting penalties called last year. Yeah. Watch what happens now. The way it's going, we might have 50.
And guess what they do now, Skip? They bat flip every home run. Basketball, they shoot the three ball, they hold it. They hold the pose.
Yep.
Skip, ain't nobody...
And what happens in all the video games? They're holding the pose, they're flipping the bat.
Skip, I get some rules when they took the kickoff, when they took the wedge back there with because they had almost 1,000 pounds, and people were getting injured. The concussion rate, we say, well, this is the highest rate of concussions happens on this. They did away with that. I get that. Skip, nobody was clamoring saying there's too much taunting going on.
No,
John,
nobody's
stop
clamoring.
That.
But even you don't want somebody standing over a fallen opponent.
Skip, we know what that is. But what they call Saturday, I think that was Saturday when they did it, that is not taunting.
No. This is scary. You've opened a Pandora's box here that you're going to need to close.
Yeah, well, we know, John, what you're getting at. Don't pretend like we don't know, John. We. Who is we?
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out, too, and who is actually following these rules. Tom Brady is giving us some clues about one of the QB's biggest mysteries.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy, and I won't back down.
I don't think they were nearly as good as those Patriots. And from that moment on, Tim Tebow was never given the opportunity to start another NFL game. And that is mind-blowing to me. He obviously got some looks. He got a look with the Jets. He thought he was going to get a chance. He did tell me that Rex Ryan told him he would get a 50-50 opportunity to win the job from Mark Sanchez. But was he ever allowed to start a game for the Jets at quarterback? He was not. He got a look from Belichick. He got a look from Chip Kelly, but they were just looks. And before you knew it, he was out of football. So the next time I saw him was in August, just before we started this show here in Los Angeles, when he had a baseball showcase at USC to get signed by a Major League Baseball team to start at the bottom of the minor league system, somewhere like in the Arizona Fall League, to try to make his way into professional baseball. And he told me at that point that he was devastated about what happened to him in pro football. Well, it would be devastating because that was your dream. That's all you ever worked for your whole life was to play pro football.
He did.
You did that, and you accomplished that.
Yeah.
You pulled that off.
Yes.
And then you never got another opportunity. It's unheard of. It will never happen again this way, where this man did that and then suddenly decided, I'm going to have to replace my gridiron glory with trying to make it in minor league baseball? Are you kidding me? And he fought up for 4 years. He fought up that minor league ladder.
Yeah.
Single A, double A. He was a double A all-star, triple A. 4 years until finally his college coach, Urban Meyer, out of nowhere, gets the job in his hometown of Jacksonville.
And gave him what that you said he didn't get before? An opportunity.
To start at quarterback?
No.
And so, silly me, I said immediately, surely they have a plan in place whereby Tim Tebow will get to do what he did best for Urban at Florida when he was a freshman, and that is to run gadget quarterback plays out of the Wildcat, out as an H-back, to make first downs or score goal line situation touchdowns. And I thought that's what they'll use him as, ultimately using his quarterback skills. And they kept trying to sell him as a tight end, and I did agree with you. There is no way that you're going to leave football for 8.5 years and come back as a tight end, which would require you to play special teams, which would require you to block and tackle, which you've never done before, and it would require you to catch passes. He had never caught a single pass in a college or pro football game.
Right.
Not one. Sometimes quarterbacks
Well, that's
catch a
arrogance
pass.
on his fault.
Okay.
That believed that even though he had never done any of those things, he was going to come back and do it at the highest level.
Okay, well, I consider that Urban's fault, but Urban played along with it or let it happen. And obviously, Tebow's never going to be a tight end. And I kept saying, surely he's going to change 85 into 15. But Gardner Minshew's wearing number 15. And Tebow was literally 7th on the depth chart as a tight end.
Yes.
So out of the blue, the first cut comes, 90 down to 85, and Urban cuts him. He is the 7th tight end. And Urban said, enough is enough. This is the right thing to do. And said, well, he can't play special teams. Well, he played 16 plays the other night in the one and only preseason game he played in, and he played no snaps on special teams. And I thought it was humiliating for a player of Tim's stature, what he accomplished in college and for that 1 year in Denver in pro football, to have to go through the shame of being cut like that in the 90 to 85.
Well, he brought that on himself. Because here's the thing, Skip, let me ask you a question. How long is the average NFL career, regardless of the player, regardless of the name? 3 years. Tim Tebow got 3 years. He had an average NFL career. You said his dream was to play quarterback in the NFL. He did that.
Did he pull it off?
Skip, he played.
Was he great at it? Was he really good at it?
No.
Yes! He did that.
Skip.
You saw it with your own eyes, and you
Skip,
wouldn't allow it to go in your head. You're like all the rest of them.
Skip.
All the Hall of Famers said, he can't throw.
He was not good at quarterback.
I kept saying,
he was not good,
all
Skip.
intangibles. It's all his will to win.
No.
I've never seen, as Urban Meyer said to Chris Collinsworth, he is maniacal. He's a competitive psycho. That's what he is. He's a competitive maniac. He played it at the highest level. He took your team to the division championship because he made play after play after play after play. I showed you a bunch of them yesterday. You said, boy, that was a good throw.
So Tim Tebow is the only guy that's had a 3-year career, which is average, that everybody makes a hullabaloo.
To me, he had a 1-year career.
No, well, Skip, he got drafted.
He had a 10-game career.
Okay.
Well,
Skip,
that was it.
But here's the thing. He got an opportunity from the Jets. He got an opportunity from the Pats. He got an opportunity from the Jags.
Define opportunities.
Skip.
Are those opportunities to play quarterback?
The Broncos did something that no other team would allow him to do. Practice terrible,
He was a
and then
terrible
still put him
player.
in the game.
Did it work? Did it work?
Nobody else is going to do that.
Did he do that? Did he pull those games out of the fire?
So he's the only. So Skip.
Did he do it?
Skip. Yes.
You can't refute it because the proof is in the pudding.
Skip,
He did it.
Skip, there have been other guys that have started and then been out of the league in 3 years. This is not unique to Tim Tebow. If his last name was Kicklighter, you or all the others wouldn't give a damn.
Wait a second. Colt McCoy's still in this league.
Okay.
Chase Daniel's still in this league. Josh Johnson is still in this league after these many years. And Tebow got one little chance in Denver and seized the chance like nobody's ever seen.
Because you and
I've never seen anything like it before.
Because you and others can't get past. How can a guy be so great at college, be so average in the NFL? And that's what he was, average.
What was my award-winning video, thanks to DJ Steve Porter? What was the name of it? All he does is win.
Win what?
Did he win the AFC West? Did he win a home playoff game with a lightning bolt of a throw in overtime to Demaryius Thomas to win the game? Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
But here's the thing. This is what I never understood. In professional sports, it's all about updating your resume. Tim Tebow is the only guy that got to live off a resume that's never been updated. You still said, well, he should be given an opportunity for what he did in 2011.
What opportunity did he get off what he did in 2011?
None.
Was anybody better over a stretch like that in 2011 than Tim Tebow? He took the league over.
He went to the Jets. He couldn't beat out Mark Sanchez.
He wasn't given an opportunity.
He went to Skip.
Wasn't given an opportunity.
Skip, when you get in the
Put
game,
him in the football game when it's a real game with the game on the line and see what happens.
We got to practice.
Okay,
We gotta
he is rare. He is unconventional.
Skip,
Never seen anything like it.
You want to make him